It's the midweek episode of E15, Elections 2015. Now, many thanks for joining us on the program that gives you daily countdown to the forthcoming elections in Nigeria. I am Eshomomo Imodu. Now, 31 days from now, Nigerians will go to the polls to vote for their presidential candidate of their choice. But controversies are still trailing the usage of the military for the protection of the ballot boxes. Now, members of the House of Representatives disagree over whether or not to go by the Constitution or otherwise. Now, we will continue from where we stopped yesterday by analyzing the appeal of President Goodluck Jonathan to aggrieved members of the People's Democratic Party at the House of Representatives to sheath their swords and work for him in the forthcoming general elections. Now, the aggrieved lawmakers met with President Jonathan in Abuja on Sunday night to bear their minds to the president, telling him how the PDP secretariat virtually sold tickets to the highest bidders during the primaries. Our updates on the collection and distribution of the permanent voter cards continue as INEC said all alien PVCs in Ogun State have been returned to where they belong. Now, these are the issues we shall be looking at on today's episode, but first, let's take a break. And when we come back, I'll get you to meet my team.
Tell us, is it a sign of what is to come? Is the Alliance for Democracy probably picking up President Goodluck Jonathan as their candidate?
You're giving an opinion. My opinion is...
It's a question. It's a question, not an opinion.
Okay, I will tell you, when the party does make a decision, surely you hear it. You'll be on television.
You are in murky waters. You are practicing politics in a messy environment.
Oh yes, it's a messy environment. Hey, excuse me.
Inevitably, you will have your hands soiled.
No. You cannot make those logical inferences. Listen, look what is APC. And I'll tell you, APC is 50% PDP, 50% everything else. Some of them are AD, some of them are CPC, and things. It's that kind of mishmash salad that is APC. Same for PDP. What is PDP? Half of them are APC, half of them are... In the midst of all this, you are asking me to come out with some clean statement of ideological purity for you. I stand for my personal, ideological, but especially professional beliefs.
It's fireworks on TVC.
It's no boring talk. It's a sneak peek into the lives of the people who make the news.
I don't smoke. I don't drink. I've stopped womanizing.
It's all tales and confessions. It is the Sunday Interview on TVC News, Nigeria.
Now, you're welcome back, and as usual, I'm not alone. In the studio today, I have with me Boyega Akosile. You're welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
You've been away for some time.
Well, for something good, so that the elections can be very successful.
Okay. And next to him is Oba Adeoye.
I don't know when Boyega...
All of us, we are all stakeholders.
Okay, stakeholders indeed. Okay, then next to Oba is Babajide Kolade Otitoju. You're welcome.
Oh, it's my pleasure, as usual.
All right.
Good evening, viewers.
Thank you so much. Now let's go this way. Let me start with Babajide Kolade. President Jonathan begs aggrieved PDP reps members and to support his ambition. There's been so much division in PDP. Now, how will you analyze these recent moves by the president to kind of get them to buy into his idea?
Yes, I said some time ago that the PDP badly needed a respite, a kind of timeout, like in a game of basketball, when a coach senses that things are going wrong with his team, maybe the players are not playing to instruction, he calls for a timeout, and he can use that time to talk to the players, and he will expect that things will change when they go back onto the court. Now, the postponement of this election, whichever way we look at it, PDP has been the greatest beneficiary of it, in the sense that they've had so much crisis, and clearly they needed time to try to resolve a lot of the crisis within the party. Remember when they had the presidential rally in Ondo State? Okay. The president was embarrassed.
Seriously.
Because you had Jimoh Ibrahim on one side. Jimoh Ibrahim, by the way, has no political value. You see, he is not known to have won any election. But he's the sort of politician...
Definitely wouldn't like his trouble.
He's the sort of course, he's the sort of politician who can cause you so much trouble.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, he can cause you to lose a lot of eligible voters. And the governor, on the other side, Mimiko, a tested politician, he's won elections. But there is this bitter rivalry between Mimiko and the
original members
and Jimoh Ibrahim, dating back to even before this electioneering period. It didn't start today. Now, the president has found it difficult to reconcile both men. Right there on the podium, the president was talking, and both men were kind of barging in. At a point, he was telling the PDP supporters that I'm going to resolve the conflict between Jimoh and the governor. You know, his eyes were darting from one side to the other. It was that bad. You would expect that even before they get to the campaign ground, maybe some form of decision will have been reached that, okay, let us not rock the boat. Let's just have this. You know? But it was the moment, even when the president mentioned Jimoh's name, supporters of the governor, they booed him. So we are talking about a fractured party. A party, you see, I've always told my friends that the PDP is not organic in any way. An organic party will not face the kind of crisis that PDP is facing at this time. More than half of the APC governorship candidates were people who defected from the PDP. I think about 18 of them or 20, you know?
Out of the 36.
Out of 36. That's significant.
Oba, for over time, PDP prides itself with when they want to resolve crisis, it's a family affair. Was it that they took all this for granted and they allowed it to fester till this very moment, just about 5 weeks into a major election, they're still dealing with such crises?
I think I will refer to the PDP as Alagbara Mamiru, because that means a mighty person without program, without strategy. Fine, good. The PDP is a very big party, and it has always prided itself as the biggest party in Africa. At some point in time, they were telling us they were going to rule us for the next 50 years or so. That shows that that shows that the PDP is so confident of itself that we are present in all the nooks and crannies of Nigeria. Anywhere you go, you see PDP presence there. That is their belief. That is what they believe. And I think they took that to bed. They went to bed, and before they woke up, the APC had taken advantage of the situation. And I think the APC is the highest beneficiary of all this now. Now, I come to talk about Jonathan trying to make members of the House of Representatives to support his ambition. When those people needed him most, did they also support them? That is the question on the minds of these people. And for me, I think it's a give and take kind of thing. If the president thinks, okay, fine, we have been fair enough during our primaries election, then he has all the confidence, all the belief that, okay, let me talk to this man. They will come over and support my ambition. But as it is right now, I don't want to sound like a prophet of doom. I see more PDP members crossing over to the APC, because if you look at the APC, even before the election time, if you look at the APC seems to have been the most the well-organized of all the parties that we have presently. The packaging of the party seems to, for me, it looks like a corporate organization, as if they are going into business, the way they have packaged it, the way they have sold their programs, their candidates to the people. So any politician who really want to retain his or relevance, who want to identify with such a party. Okay. Because as it is right now, for me, I think the PDP is on the free fall.
Okay, and but you are talking about PDP on the free fall. Over the weekend also there was this news that makes the rounds that Monday actually exchanged hands, and I think on one of the sessions, I think it was on Tuesday, one of the members of the House of Rep was reported to have a shouting an exchange of words with the leader of the House. Now, how will you describe what played out?
Well, I was discussing with someone earlier today in my office, and I was really concerned about Nigeria, talking about money in politics. I actually got some news releases from the opposition party, the APC, for review and usage on our blog. And I haven't read it, being the editor. I passed it on to one of our people, and I went to his office to have a discussion with him that, are we not in trouble in Nigeria? That money is now a major factor in politics in Nigeria. Without wanting to sound rude or somehow, people said President Jonathan was in Lagos for 5 days. Well, it's actually in the public space. It was in Lagos for 5 days and distributing money. APC has accused the president,
even dollars,
of distributing money to different groups of those, nameless people. Some people call themselves Odua Progressive Union, some Odua Progressive Congress, some Afenifere group, some Afenifere Progressive Union. So, all manners of group, Market Men and Women Association, Commodity Traders, of Nigeria Association, different groups at Marina, that they met with the president and they were collecting thousands and thousands of dollars. Now, my question is, I know that money plays a lot of role in politics. You need money to prosecute an election. But when money now becomes the major issue in politics, I think Nigeria is going to be in trouble. So we really need to ask ourselves whether it is going to be about the $1,000 that I'll collect now, or having electricity, having good roads, having good hospitals, having good schools and all that. I think that's left to the electorate, not me. Of course, for me, I know what I want and I know, who I'm going to cast my ballot for. But as a Nigerian, I'm worried about the role money is playing, and it's really giving me, some sort of concern.
Let me just bring this to you also. One of the news report also talked about a member who said leaders of his party received about 1 billion from him, and I took the EFCC to help him get back about 500 million.
Yes. The parties during this electioneering period, party leaders, especially in the respective states, not just PDP states, the respective states, saw this opportunity as a kind of payback time. For federal lawmakers, a lot of whom kind of abandoned their home base, the leaders of the parties waited for them. Said, okay, you've been enjoying all the money.
At least you say you come back and sing votes.
Come back. Now, look, I know somebody who contested here in Lagos, who sold his house on the island.
You're not kidding, I know.
In a very expensive choice part of the island. He sold his, I'm not telling you to mention him.
You better don't.
Yes.
No, because I know the person contested.
Because Akoshile was talking about money being becoming the be-all of our politics. Look, it cuts across the parties.
Yeah.
And it's such a terrible thing. This person sold his house. He sold his house
if you sold your
on
house
the island, in a very posh part of Ireland.
That means
now,
the mentality
what it means is, look,
cash.
that will not be the money that I realized from selling that house will not be all that is spent.
Of course.
On that ill-fated.
Did you say ill-fated?
Yeah, because he didn't win.
He didn't win.
Just to get the party ticket.
Yes,
nomination.
and he didn't get it.
And he didn't get it.
He didn't get it. So now, but for the look, it is especially bad in the National Assembly.
You could say your
A
house
lot of them
for
didn't
party
go back.
nomination.
A lot of them. We spoke about, even from Lagos State, many of the lawmakers, the federal lawmakers that didn't go back. You know, in the PDP state, it's particularly bad because the party leaders now saw this as an opportunity to make money off these people. You know, so and it's bad, and the president knows that he still needs them. They are still debating in the House. There are still issues that will be brought to the House and the Senate. And with these people there, at least you are guaranteed of your support for whatever we want to push through. That's why he had to go to them. They've lost everything. In fact, someone told me that it has so because a lot of those lawmakers are not coming back. Even it's beginning to affect business in Abuja. Because they know that all that they have
to
now,
keep what they have
they
now.
have to keep
They
those
need to
people
they
that
have
are
now.
tight-fisted at this time. It's a very huge number of federal lawmakers that are not going back.
But my challenge now is for us as newsmen, for us who watch these people and report these people, how can we begin to discourage the use of money? Money is becoming...
But there's a legislation to that effect.
But the legislation...
INEC is not doing even campaign funding.
Exactly.
Naturally,
Exactly.
in other climes, you have a cap on campaign funding.
Yeah.
Whereby for this presidential election, you can't spend more than
can't spend more than...
Nobody is monitoring the parties.
Because
Nobody is monitoring the parties.